much easier out there, I tell you. As we all know, Stephen loved music. Everything was to a song. And so we're going to share with you all the Friends playlist. Basically put the playlist together for today, and it was 6 hours long. So we're going to publish that list of music because we obviously couldn't get it all on that list. We had to cut songs. No, you can't cut that song. Ooh, no, we can't add that. But we're going to give you the unedited version for everyone to listen to and create you a iTunes playlist, a Spotify list, whatever you need to do. So when you're feeling sad or you're missing Stephen, you will have that to go to. And so I say all that to say, Stephen took that love of music to then love the art of female impersonation. It's a very taboo topic that you would never ever expect a absolutely gorgeous Midwestern white boy to love, filled with black women singing. It just threw me. It threw me. I didn't get it. And if you never had his fried chicken, it would answer all questions. With that said, Stephen's commitment to diversity and inclusion, to people feeling loved, being welcomed, and just truly celebrating who they were or who they are, went so far beyond an airplane. If you see his close grouping of friends, we look like a Benetton ad. We really do. And as someone has handled diversity and inclusion as a career, he inspired me. Although he looked to me for guidance on different things, his ability to love, respect, and appreciate people and authentically be there for them, wow, impressive. I say that to say we had to switch some things around. As remembering him as much as we're supposed to celebrate is not as easy as it's said to do. Obviously we celebrate what he did, but celebrating is not capable. People aren't capable to celebrate right now. It's too soon. With that, I'd like to introduce a couple of his nearest and dearest friends and some of the most talented and decorated artists in the art of female impersonation. How many people saw the video on Facebook with him driving down the street? Okay. He's sending that video to me. Yes, I love Beyonce. And the song's called Ring the Alarm. And a person that's my absolute heart, sister, friend, you name it, the very first time Stephen ever saw her perform, it was to that song. And it was an event, the very first event I ever hosted called Level Out, Celebrating National Coming Out Day. And so he and Lee decided that they're going to come and support. And, you know, Stephen could go into a bar where they're performing, maybe make it rain. And so she performed that. It wasn't one of her traditional places to perform, but she performed specifically for me. And she had an updo ponytail. I promise you, when this ponytail, we could hear the ponytail whipping over the music. And all you could hear was Stephen going, yes, yes! So I would like for, and at the end of the video, where I'm going with that is, you hear him saying, Silky Monroe, I'm coming for you, girl, I'm coming for you. I've been practicing. Silky Monroe, if you could come up. And we originally wanted Miss Aurora Sexton to perform, but Stephen, I'll let her tell her own story, but we'll get to support her, and that performance is dedicated to him at a later date. And I would also like to, so Aurora's his big sister, and Precious would be his little sister. So if I could have Precious and Aurora to come up, and we're going to get a few words from Aurora.
Thank you. I know how many of his friends wanted to speak here today, and I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity just to say a couple words about Stephen. Many years ago, I was working at a club in Boys Town, and the girls came running down the stairs and they said, "Girl, you've got to see the new security guy, he is fine." And I was like, okay. So I pulled it together, and we run up, and I see this gorgeous man standing at the front door checking IDs. And I made my way over to him and was like, well, hi. And he looked at me and he said, well, hey, puss. And I knew then and there that he was a sister. And that began one of the most beautiful and meaningful friendships that I've ever had. You know, a lot of people in our community come from disenfranchised families, and they don't have the kind of support systems that many others do. Stephen filled in for many of us in a way as, at least for me, he was the big brother that I never had. He was a father for those that needed one. And he was just such a huge presence in our lives that it's so bizarre just to imagine not having that anymore. Besides his great love and passion for flying, he had a great passion for what we do. Female impersonation, drag pageants. If he hadn't been a pilot, he most assuredly would have been a drag queen. And I'm not entirely convinced he wasn't one in a former life. One of his proudest moments was getting to judge Miss Continental, which is a huge pageant held here in Chicago. And he was so ecstatic to be a part of that. And, you know, past all that, we were also neighbors on Roscoe Street, and dinners at his house were legendary. And there were nights I'd walk in and the house would be filled with people I didn't even know. He just met these people at the bars and pulling them off the street. Come in and have dinner, honey. And if any of you got to experience dinner at Stephen's house, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could fry chicken like that man could. Sorry, Cordy. You're good. But when I heard the news, I got home and I began to look through the things that he had given me over the years. And there was a letter that he had given to me when I moved away. And I wanted to share that with you today because I don't think it just pertains to me. It pertains to what he thought of all of you. And it pertains to what he thought about his family, and his friends, and anyone that he came in contact with. Because anybody that he did come in contact with, he saw the best in them, even if they didn't see it. And he motivated us and inspired us to be more than we ever thought we could be. At 32 years old, one thing I have learned is that people come in and out of our lives constantly. While this happens, life continues to move forward. As a result, we lose touch with the people who have made huge impacts on our lives. No matter what our intention, time marches on. I remember the first time you and I met when I started working at Spin. I've always had a special feeling about you before we even met. Being your friend and watching you grow over these past few years has been a huge reward to me. You have come so far. Each stride and each little success makes me smile. You'll never understand how much I appreciate the relationship and friendship that we have cultivated and the positive impact you have had on my life. Even though I hate to see you go, I think it is a necessary step in your evolution as an individual. I'm not writing this letter saying that we will not talk anymore. I'm writing because you won't live next door, and we won't be able to pop into each other's places like we used to. I won't be able to send you a text because I have decided at the last minute that I'm going to come see the show. As such, I feel like I need to give you a proper goodbye and take an opportunity to tell you these things before you go, because we never know when we will see each other again. In closing, I want to say thank you for your continued friendship. Even though you probably don't know it, you have impacted my life greatly, and I'll always be a better person for knowing you. As you go forward in life, never forget what has brought you to where you are today, and you'll continue this constant climb to success that you have started. I love you so much, Stephen. It's the lessons that he taught me that I'll carry with me. And as much as I think we all want to feel angry or sad or upset, we have to keep in mind what he would want for us, because he always wanted us to be our personal best. And we have to live the life that he believed we could and become the individuals that he believed we were. I will carry nothing but love and beautiful, beautiful memories of that man in my heart for the rest of my life. And I know he's looking down, smiling on all of us, and waiting for the gayest music to be played so we can just all start dancing. So, thank you for coming this afternoon, and I love you, Stephen. Thank you.